outside arm wrestling. Outside arm wrestling, the golden rule is you want to be chased, right? You can think about, like, people think about top rolling and, posting and low handing, and they're like, okay, I'm gonna have this up, I'm gonna bend my wrist, I'm not gonna let him see I'm not gonna have my palm seen, I'm gonna pronate. And to me, that's all very confusing and very robotic, Initially, I understand that, that's the way you're gonna have to think about it, but as soon as possible, try and just get to where you're thinking, come to me, hold on to me, And it's, to me, it's a much easier way to think about it. You don't have to think about just be like, is he holding on to me? Yes, hold on to me more, hold on to me, chase me, come to me, These are, basic guiding thoughts of outside arm wrestling. Inside arm wrestling. Okay?
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I got my buddy John Milne. He's always harassing me. I got a good friend John, and he's a hook arm wrestler. And he's always making fun of me, fairy finger walking, running away. He wants to do this thing, this Braveheart skit. I don't know if you guys see those in the Hook movies we do. He's like, he wants to make this movie like where that scene in Braveheart where the guy's like, would you give up all the rest of your days for this one chance? But he wants to make it about hooking. Like would you not come inside? Anyways, so inside arm wrestling, right? It's considered, the real power move. Very rewarding to win in a hook. The power output total is higher, It's more of a strength game. It's going to move it a little bit out of the hand. It's going to bring it down a little bit more into, guys with good biceps, guys with good wrist flexion love hooking, okay? Lots of different styles of hooks, okay? Talk about how you set up a hook. What's the mindset for hooking, okay? When you're thinking about hooking, okay, what I think about hooking is first I think that I can't top roll, okay? So I realize I can't top roll, but this is for me, okay? You can decide to hook for whatever reason you want. But what is vital in a hook, very simple, just this, okay? This defines a hook to me, okay? This is really what it's all about, is getting your wrist bent. And if you can get your wrist bent, most guys feel like they're in the match. They have something that they can work off of, okay? Because all of the negative is coming somehow, hopefully, off of the wrist flexion. Okay, so how do you set up your wrist flexion, okay? Let me steal John, okay? I'm going to talk about this a few different ways, okay? When you high hook, and that's not really what I'm going to cover, okay, when you're outside arm wrestling, so we're working from where we were, okay? If you want to add to your hook piece, you're really looking at the top of your hand, okay? You're looking at your top finger, and you want it on their knuckle, okay? Right here, okay? Good, yeah. That's what I'm looking for all the time, right? And you can tell when you got a good grip. Like, say we just look at this match right now. John's got a better grip than me for a high hook if we both have our pronation set, right? Just because, that's about 2 fingers. That's not even 1, okay? So anytime you're going to think about having a big cup component, get that finger high up, okay? Now, this is for outside. This is for adding cup to your existing top roll. Now I'm going to talk about cup as a lead, okay? Hooking as a lead, right? Now with this, my priorities are different. What I'm thinking about is I'm thinking about that dude's bicep. That's where my thought lies. My thought lies in controlling the center of the table. My thought lies in the commitment of my shoulder, okay? I want more commitment than my opponent. I want to have more of my body over that match than my opponent. I want to be on his bicep and on his rotation. All I care about is the bending of my wrist above anything else. I want him to run from me, okay? When you talk about the center of arm wrestling, I want him to run down this outside path and just keep running away from me. That's what my goal is, okay? So I'm going to crowd the center of the table. I don't care about my thumb anymore. Remember how we talked about this ridge and how so important it is and elevating it all the time? This ridge is how you reach a person's fingers, okay? I don't care about pronation right now, okay? It's not in my focus. My focus is on making him see his palm, and I'll give away that, I'll give it away if required. There's different ways I can give it away, and we'll get into that. But the thumb for inside arm wrestling, I don't care about the height of it whatsoever. Okay? I bury it. I bury it low. Okay? I bury it low to have a high angle. Okay? Here we go. So if he's at the table, okay, my thumb is coming low, and look how low it comes. Okay? No kidding. That low. This is where I'm going to come in. You see that? I'm going to come here. Okay? This is how extreme it can be. It doesn't have to be so extreme, but I'm going to show you this way so you really get it. Okay? Why does it come low? First reason is I really want to have my hand high. Okay? I don't want him to threaten this angle. I want to make sure I have it. So I'm going to go low so he can't really access it. The next thing that my thumb being low like that is going to do is going to cause problems with the setup for him. He's going to have to make some adjustments because it'll be an illegal grip. And the third thing is it's going to create space. Okay? Space here. What a good top roller wants is he wants to pull into your fingers. He wants to reach your fingers so he can attack your wrist, make your wrist bend back. By coming low, having your angle high, and creating this big space, it's going to take that much time before you can even find your fingers. Hopefully by then, you'll have time to get your bend in. So I come low, okay, and I'm threatening inside to find his bicep. I'm always going to think the angle from my shoulder to my hands is cutting into his arm, okay? Right now, this is not good, right? He's cutting into my arm if you draw a line, okay? Right there, we're about even, okay? Now, I always want it to be here, okay? I want to threaten, I want to be table boss. I want to control that center so that he cannot properly pull inside, okay? I'm trying to make it so he has to run from me. Because like I said earlier, you cannot pull inside when your arm's separated from your body. You can pull outside, it's great, okay? But if I'm out here, me coming in is a bad news story every time, especially if the other guy's all up on top of it. It's going to be terrible. So, okay, so I'm coming in, thumb is low, angle's high, thinking about that angle, right? Here I am, okay? Good. See how low I am? Okay? See how much space I have? Now what's going on right here is, see the thumb knuckles? Okay? It's an illegal grip. It's an illegal grip, right? So he has to make an adjustment. And the adjustment that he has to make is he either has to come inside against me, that means he has to start committing his body, or he has to start doing a low hand top roll, which is really what I want him to do. Because that will help me find his bicep even more. Right? Come in, low thumb, high angle. Push off a little bit, control the center of the table. Okay? Take my grip. Space. Space here. Lots of space. Right now there's going to be a negotiation piece. Right? Negotiation piece is him having, the referee's going to tell him to see your knuckle. Okay, as he is dropping or whatever he's doing, I'm keeping my high angle, supinate, do that regrip that we were working on, right? And I'm going to regrip out his hand while he is dropping. What this is doing is it's giving me an awesome grip. The whole time I'm keeping that cup right there. That's space. That's space, okay? Low, push, okay? He's got it, I still, there. See that? As he grabs a little bit, I just climb higher up his hand. And what ends up happening is he ends up having to do a low move. You are making him run away from you. The lead in this kind of arm wrestling is flexion. Okay? The lead is bending that wrist, right? And hopefully you've got it set up that he's going to be going away like this, okay? And you are just going to turn him. Once you turn him, everything is great. You bend your wrist, he may start to overtax you. He may start to turn your wrist depending on how strong he is. You have choices. You have to give things up as well, right? Like you're not going to be able, you may just crush him, but if it's a close match, and that's what you're training for, close matches, is he may start to bring you over even in this counter. You can give up angle in many different ways, right? He may make you give up this a little bit so you're not like as on it as you'd like. What you don't want to do is you don't want to end up in a defensive hook, right? Because then he may be overcommitted and getting on your bicep. Okay? You want to keep that commitment. So the way you do it is as he starts to turn you, okay, you'll fall behind with your shoulder and block. Okay? Right? So that is inside commitment arm wrestling. Okay? All right? Because this is better than this. Okay? Right? Because these angles, when you talk about angles of value, okay, it goes from most important to least important. All right? So if you want to give something up, I'd always prefer to give something up in my shoulder, my elbow, before I give something up in my wrist. Okay? So by giving something up with my body angle, way better than giving up my pronation. Right? So instead of being like this and keeping my body angle, I'll give this up. All right? All right? It's the same effect on the hand. All right? So again, I recognize that I'm not going to top roll this dude. As soon as I grip up and try and run or whatever, he's not having it, and I just know from our past matchups or whatever that this guy, he's got a mega hand, mega top roller. I want him to force it inside, right? High angle, keep your high angle. Thumb low, angle high, threaten this way, all right? Balanced by adjusting with deflection and connection, all right? Okay, there we go. On the don't, and you can change your stance as well. Okay, change your stance to almost, you can do foot propped. Okay, it's more drive this way, or you can just generally just center more this way as opposed to more of an open stance. So as you get behind it, your only thought is hopefully you have him, so he's not really coming this way. Hopefully you have him, and this is the reason why you do this move, is because he's too heavy on his bicep. He's too heavy on back pressure. That don't move, ready, go, boom, you have that control. And then from here, you can basically do whatever you want. We'll get into that a little bit later. But that's really, I think, the best way to set up inside style arm wrestling. Okay? You're not going to be leading with any kind of pronation. Leading with flexion. You want to mess around with that for a bit?
Yeah.